Levels of wealth inside the secret lives of the ultra rich.
If you earned $1
Oh God, he already has such a soothing voice.
per second, then to make $1 million would take you about 11 and a half days. But to make $1 billion would take you over 31 and a half years. You see, it's easy to think of wealth in terms of rich or poor. But broadly speaking, there are arguably 5 different levels of rich. And at each level, things change.
Yeah, that's actually facts, though. People always, like, group the top 1% together in the United States specifically. But realistically, the top 1% of people in the United States might varyingly make $500,000 a year to $50 million a year or more. Like, that is insanely different. They're both very wealthy. Most people that make that amount of money can do anything they want. But $500K versus $50 million gets you very fucking different things, right? Like, you still have to save money if you're making $500K a year. Like, you can't just go around buying Lamborghinis. But if you make $50 million a year, you can near do anything you want. Like, how much money do y'all think you would need to never work a day in your life? You're never investing the money again. You're never going to invest it, right? You just get that lump sum of money and you'll use it until you die. And when you die, you'll have $0. You'll have $0 when you die. You'll still spend the money responsibly, but to the point where you can do anything that you want. However much money you want, specifically. I would say most realistically, you could live off of $2 million, starting at a young age. If you are given $2 million at 20 years old, you could make that last the rest of your life. You're not going to be able to live, you're going to have to live very tightly because, you're going to be spending, 40, 50K a year every year, right? But over the course of your life, it will last that length. But if you want to actually buy whatever you want, realistically, you need 10.
In this video, we'll be exploring what life is like at each of these different wealth levels and delving into how the ultra-rich spend their money, including some of the most bizarre and extravagant purchases you've ever heard of. Prices feel relative to how much you earn. So
Yeah. Yes and no. Prices feel relative to how much you make. That's true. How much you value money doesn't really change. How much you value money is what it is at birth. Like, if you're born a multi-millionaire, how you value money is going to be less comparable to somebody that wasn't rich and then got even more rich than you. Because, I make good money on social media, but I still value $20 as $20, right? Like, when I lose $20, I'm upset. I don't need the $20 to the effect that, oh my God, when I was in high school and I had $20, I actually needed that to fucking buy Wawa or some shit. Yeah, I could buy my own food. It's still, how you perceive money's value is the same, but the perspective on how much something actually costs might change a little bit. I would say it is relative, yeah, to a degree.
So if you compare someone who's earning $40,000 a year with someone earning $400 million a year, it's 10,000 times more, which means a Lambo that costs $300,000 to them is the equivalent of spending $30.
That's nuts.
A $10 million piece of art feels like $1,000. A $50 million home in the Hamptons feels more like $5,000.
That was one of the only things that Andrew Tate talked about that genuinely was it was a video he made on the perspective of money. And it was one of the only videos that I was like, wow, everything he said wasn't crazy. He literally said when he goes to a restaurant, he just buys the most expensive shit there is, and it doesn't faze him. He doesn't enjoy food as much as he used to. He doesn't enjoy anything as much as he used to because there's no need to earn it, right? When you're sitting there and you're working months on end to take a good vacation, that vacation is very valuable to you. But if you're a multi-millionaire and you can vacation anytime you want, it's no longer as good. It's still fun, but it's not as good as it was because you didn't have to wait to earn it. It's not something that's a buildup. You can just buy anything you want. So how much something actually is valued is much less. To be in the top 1% of earners in the United States, you need to make $401,622 per year. See, that's wealthy, but then people always group 1% into that. But there's people that are in the top 1% making $400K and $400 million. It's varying. drastically.
If your income is over about $200,000 a year, you would technically be part of the top 1% of worldwide earners.
Worldwide,
and so
yeah.
being in the top 1% may not make you feel quite as rich as you would think. Because sure, you can typically afford a nice house and car, but with those things comes higher costs. And so you probably don't feel very financially...
Well, it's actually... After 65K a year, whatever you earn won't improve your quality of life. Generally. Unless you live in if you live in the United States and you're not living in like a big city like New York, if you live in like a rural area, if you make 65K a year, your quality of life will not be improved if you make more than that. It'll be shit you want. You know what I mean? If you make 65K a year, you can have a decent home, you can eat well, you can have time off, you can take vacations every year, you can do all of those things, right? The more money past that is having a second car, going on vacation more, having higher quality organic food, being able to do that, having a nicer house, having nicer things.
On this level, wealth starts to be measured in net worth rather than income. Because the more wealth you have, the more assets you have, and you're probably not making your money from a normal salary. So the next level of rich is a net worth of $10 million to $30 million. At this level, your needs are met. You can live very comfortably. You have a really nice house. You often fly first class internationally.
Never flying first class. Saying that right now, bitch. Never fly. I don't give a fuck if I made $40 million, bro. Never fly. I'm going from, these are the two options. I'm flying coach or I'm flying on a private jet. There's no in between. First class is a waste of fucking money. 4 or 5 times the price of a regular seat for fucking, 4 more inches of space. And then they're going to fucking wait on me, right? Not worth it.
If it's a special occasion, you might book a $2,000 suite. You can afford any healthcare you need, and in fact, no emergency financial situation can destroy your life. And yet, you're still not rich in the way that money doesn't matter. You still have to be sensible and careful when it comes to big decisions.
Exactly.
And in the banking world, you're still not classified as having an ultra-high net worth.
The bank? The bank doesn't classify you as an ultra-high net worth. You have $30 million. The bank doesn't care. Oh my God. What is ultra-high net worth? Hundreds?
Which brings us to our next level. A net worth of $30 million to $100 million.
Yo, chat, what is filthy rich? Net worth. Filthy rich, not salary. Let's do that. Let's do net worth first. Filthy rich. You're fucking rich. You can buy anything. I would say 40 million. If you have $40 million, you're filthy fucking rich. You can buy anything you want. Now let's do salary. What's filthy rich salary? I would say $5 million a year. If you make you're rich if you make 400K. I would say 300K actually. If you make 300K a year, you're rich. I would say you're rich. You make good ass money. Filthy rich, $5 million. $5 million a year, money does not matter. $5 million a year, money does not matter in any way. You just spend money whenever you feel like spending money. You still work, right? Because you need to make that money, you need to maintain that. But money doesn't matter as much as it used to anymore.
You have personal assistants and are starting to have people that others have to talk to get to you. You can buy pretty much anything that normal people think of as stuff rich people buy. Instead of flying first class, you'd fly privates. Although, having said that, you'd typically charter a flight or own a private jet fractionally through a service like NetJets, instead of buying it outright and having to maintain it. But still, at this level, another big change that happens is your social circle. You probably start socializing with congressmen, senators, and community leaders.
No.
You're likely...
If I ever got that rich, I would never be friends with the mayor. Get the fuck out of here. Congressman? Yeah, bro. If I was ever that rich that congressmen came to me to sponsor them, I would dead ass tell them to go fuck themselves. I would be like, yeah, I don't care what political party you're a part of. If you're trying to get me to give you money to promote your dumbass fucking political party, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not doing that shit. No. That's what's whack. That's what's whack about the government. Because no, political parties, I'm gonna have some conspiracy shit here, right? Like, everybody knows where I stand politically. I don't give a fuck where you stand politically, right? I get along with my chat. I have friends all over the political spectrum, right? But, like, if you're sitting here and you're gonna fucking be 100 millionaire, right? They can do anything they want because the people that are in office get money from them to get elected, so they in turn help them. If you have $100 million, you literally control the government because you control who gets elected, because you back them. If you're a backer of somebody getting elected, that shit's fucking crazy because they repay you, and then you back them again, and then they repay you again. And it's just an infinite cycle. If you're worth more than $100 million, you can literally get away with anything. Literally anything.
Interestingly though, since you're likely surrounded by other ultra-wealthy people, you may start to feel you don't have enough. And sure, you had dinner with a local governor, but your billionaire friend just had dinner with the president. Even at this level, people are still looking above them. Which brings us to our next level of wealth, $100 million to $1 billion net worth. To be at this level, you likely have ownership or control of a business that most of the public have heard of, even if they haven't heard of you directly. At this point, you can likely socialize with movie stars, rock stars, and the corporate elites. You can go pretty much anywhere you want and always in style. You have multiple residences with staff all over the world, with elite cars at every residence. If it's your thing, you might have a private island. And of course, a private yacht.
Bro, that's the first thing that I'm buying. I said that shit, chat. Yo, if you won the Mega Millions right now, I think somebody already won that shit. $2 billion, $1.6 billion. First thing I'm buying is a private island. I'm pulling, first thing I'm doing, $200 million island. I'm fucking buying that shit. Why? Because then you have your own island. You literally own like your own little country. You just fucking live there. That's nuts.
Almost any experience you can dream up, you can have.
Yo, first thing you're buying, chat. You win $1 billion. First thing you're buying. I would probably buy an island, a jet, and then I would probably buy an island, a jet, a car. I would donate like 150 mil, invest the rest, and then just live on the island for the rest of my life. And I would do reactions once a week. I would still do reactions. I don't give a fuck. People asked me that before. If you won the lottery, would you still do social media? Yeah. Probably not TikTok. I would probably do Twitch and YouTube for sure. I love Twitch and YouTube.
Want to play tennis with your favorite star? Call his people. For a donation of $100,000 or more to his charity, you can probably play a match with him. You may hire people specifically to find you the most extravagant versions of items you can think of. For example, the Australian company Toilet Paper Man produces 22 karat gold toilet paper for a cost of over 1.3 million. And if you are going to quite literally flush money down the toilet, why not get a gold toilet or an entire gold bathroom to go with it? In fact, if you're ultra wealthy, you can literally have gold everything. How about a 24 karat gold water bottle, which in itself is a piece of designer art and comes with spring water from France and Fiji.
Oh my God, give me a bottle of Poland Spring. I don't give a fuck about that dumbass water. Get the fuck out of here. You hand me fucking $1 billion right now. I'm gonna hire the best nutritionist alive. I'm gonna say, I want to eat some fire ass food and I want it to be healthy. They're gonna give me a plan. I'm gonna buy all that food. I'm gonna hire a chef. They're gonna make me that fucking food. That's exactly what I'm doing. I don't give a shit about no damn water bottle or something. You give me a paper plate to fucking eat off of. I don't give a fuck.
How about the world's most expensive iPhone?
Yeah, that dumbass shit that Messi bought. A gold-plated iPhone. We watched a video about that.
That has 24 karat gold casing.
Stupid as shit. Why would I ever want that?
More than 600.
More stealable. Now your phone's even more stealable. Congratulations.
It's about getting the rarest and most exclusive things you possibly can. For example, you could get a limited edition pen that costs $160,000.
Dumb as shit. I'm buying a house in Switzerland on stilts, and I would sit there and I would write a memoir. Yo, I win the lottery. Go in there, buying a house on stilts. Every day, I'm gonna just sit on my porch. I'm gonna overlook the mountains and I'm gonna write my thoughts. That's all I'm doing, bro. I'm gonna be the new Friedrich fucking Nietzsche, bitch. I don't care about no damn pen. Give me a Bic pen. I'm buying pirate treasure. That's what I'm getting. Buying a shipwreck coin. I'm about to have the new. I'm gonna have literally a pirate's chest with fucking gold from 500 years ago.
You see, when you're at this wealth level, Your mind is the only real limit to what is available.
I'm buying a state. What state would I buy? You don't have enough money to buy a state. How much money would it cost to buy Maine? Like, what's like a state nobody really cares about? North Dakota.
But then we have our final level, the 1 billion net worth and above. Now, before we get into what you can do as a billionaire, which honestly is pretty insane, it's worth noting that the number of billionaires on Forbes' annual rich list has significantly increased in recent years, and there's now around 2,755 known billionaires.
Is Tyler Perry a fucking billionaire? Do not tell me Tyler Perry's a fucking Medea is a no. Tyler Perry's worth $1 billion. Oh my god. Since when?
Of course, it's possible there are more who have generational wealth that simply do a good job of staying very, very private. But either way, Forbes have estimated these 2,755 billionaires are worth a combined $13.1 trillion, and therefore have more wealth between them than the poorest 5 billion people on Earth combined.
Wow.
These statistics are overwhelming.
Poorest 5 billion? There's only 8 billion people in the world. Over half of the world combined is less rich than 2,700 people. What?
Let's actually visualize it to put things in perspective. This rice example really highlights that even within this billionaire category, the difference between 1 billion and the kind of wealth Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk have is insanely vast. I'm also a big fan of James Janney's YouTube channel, and he did a great job of visualizing the difference between these large sums of money in a different way. So after seeing these examples, we've now got a better idea.
Somebody said, all right, it's time to start day trading. It's time to start money laundering. Looks like I'm going to be the next Walter White.
We're no longer talking about luxurious items and experiences. Firstly, you can buy access. You can ask your staff to contact almost anyone on the planet and get a call back. It's amazing the level of access and respect $1 billion can get you, where within an hour, you could ask your people to get in touch with someone and they'd be able to do it. And I'm not just talking about contacting celebrities. It works the same with powerful people within politics as well.
Oh my god, I'm calling the president. Every day. Every day, dude. I'm just going to start calling world leaders. Just start having a conversation with them. My god. You give me $1 billion, bro? All right. Call the leader of, let's do Latvia today. Just have a conversation with them.
Especially because the billionaire may well be a donor to their political party. And so, if you're a billionaire, you may occasionally meet with the heads of states and have conversations with them. Which brings us to the second thing $1 billion can buy: influence. As a billionaire, you have many ways to shape public policy and the public debate. And this isn't always done in some kind of evil way.
Bro, you could bot so many followers. You have $1 billion. You remember those websites that people used to think about? Everybody had that one friend that went on one of those Instagram websites and bought 1,000 followers for like $30 or some shit. Dude, you could buy so many followers, bro. You could be like the most followed person.
Because another thing you can buy is impact through philanthropy and charity. Your money can literally change countless lives. The question is, how do you distribute it? Clean water for villages? Fund new hospitals? Try to save a dying species of animal? With money?
Damn, I ain't think about that. Like, I donate money now, but I just donate to charities. But if you have $1 billion, you're not just donating like 100 million to St. Jude. You could, like, start your own charity. I don't know what I would do.
But one of the biggest differences with billionaires that is often overlooked is the ability to essentially buy time. You quite literally don't have to wait for anything. No lines, no sitting around. Just think about it. You've got your own private jet.
You could, like, DoorDash McDonald's, like, every day.
Believe it or not, there are some downsides to being this ultra wealthy. Firstly, it's nearly impossible to have normal emotional relationships at this level. It can become increasingly difficult.
That was the one downside I was ever going to bring up. It's the same thing. If you have an absurd amount of power, fame, or money, people are only your friend because of that. And well, not always, but you can't tell the difference, right? Like if you're absurdly rich, absurdly powerful, or absurdly famous, no one will be your friend just to be your friend. they're using you for some reason.
Have friends and family that love you for who you are. They exist, but it's pretty hard to know which ones they are. Because your world is likely filled with yes men and people looking to take advantage at every opportunity.
Damn.
Your trust and connections with people are undoubtedly considerably weakened. And even if you do find someone, the relationship balance is skewed in a strange way when you have essentially unlimited money. Because no matter whether you pay for everything or whether your partner makes their own money, either way, something about the dynamic feels off. And finally, and most crucially of all, no level of money can give you truly everything, because death is the great equalizer, and losing loved ones, and losing your own health, and facing your own mortality are problems that no amount of money can solve. The Reddit poster who inspired this video, and deserves full credit, talks about how he met Sylvester Stallone at a party, who had obviously had a very successful career. He said he was such a great guy, had huge levels of wealth and luxury, a smart and beautiful wife, and yet he also had a special needs son who died young.
Damn.
In his words, nobody has it all. Nobody. In fact, if you are watching this video and feeling poor, I think it's worth rethinking. Because in this video, we've looked at several levels of wealth. But the fact you are watching this means you are nowhere close to the bottom of the total wealth pyramid. It's easy to look up and feel frustrated that some people
Is bro saying because we have Wi-Fi? Because we have Wi-Fi and we can watch it on a screen, at least we're not in a third world country. I think that's what he's saying. You're right, but I mean, like, you could have just said that.
Even if you have $1 to your name right now, you are still richer than the majority of the world who are either in debt or have absolutely nothing. What this video really highlights is that rich versus poor is so arbitrary. It's not two groups, there are many, many different levels. And compared to most of the world, you might well be a lot richer than you think.
That definitely was a good ass vid. Jay for the sub. All right, I'll like that. I'll like that video. That was good. That was a W vid, chat. All right, are we ready to get into the scary vid? We're gonna watch two.